What is going on YouTube? It's your girl Layla here, and I'm back at it again with another video. Not gonna lie, I've just started recently, getting heavily into music. I've been an NPC like most of my childhood. Like I was just singing songs just to sing them. Now I'm being conscious about my music choice, how I want my music taste to represent. I don't like quick songs. I'm trying to get off of quick songs. Quick songs to me is like songs you hear on TikTok, you feel me? I want to be able to listen to an album and like really get the feel, really get the touch. I feel like nowadays artists really can put bullshit together and call it an album. Nobody got the attention span to sit there and listen to a whole album. It's been proven I don't know how many times. I don't want to be that type of music listener anymore. I want something that hits the soul, something that talks a little bit deeper. The reason why I said all that in watching Why There Is No Drake, I think that's pretty a wild topic. Then again, he do got a point. Who's really coming after Drake? It's really no Drake successor. Lil Wayne had a successor and he passed it off to Drake. But who is Drake gonna give it to? Like, it's nobody around him. Not no young nigga. Like, he's not scouting. He's not really looking. He's not doing nothing. I think in Drake's mind, he gonna run the game forever. It's gonna be a certain point where he's gonna have to stop. I don't see him promoting a certain nigga. I don't see him doing that. He posted up with multiple niggas. This nigga don't got nobody to pass the torch down to. If we can agree why there's gonna be no Drake. Shout out to I Used to Be Paid. Shout out to Justice, he a real one.
What's good, YouTube? It's Justice, I Used to Be Paid, and today I'm back with another video. And real quick, make sure you leave a like, leave a subscribe. I'm trying to pay off this college tuition, so help a brother out. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about why there is no next Drake. Drake is the biggest superstar of rap in this generation, and what comes with that is always a whole bunch of conversations of who's the next Drake. People are always trying to find the next something when it comes to pretty much anything, but when you're one of the top A1 S-tier type of guys, that always is a conversation that surrounds you. Who's the next Drake? Who's the next Kanye? Who's the next Kendrick? It's always been a conversation, especially in rap, because rappers tend to not have the biggest shelf lives of like any other music genre, mostly because rappers tend to, have some legal troubles, or they tend to, pass away a lot of the times. But
He's not lying. So many rappers who passed away in the recent 5 years. Rappers really be dropping like flies. So you need to do like a documentary on why. That need to be a study. Like, why are these niggas dropping like flies? Like,
game, it's typically ran by guys who are 16 to 24. If you're Drake, you get to run into your 30s to a certain extent. But for the most part, it's a young man's game. It's not something that's going to be ran by 40, 50, 60. Like,
he ate right there. It's a young man's game. If you sit here and think about it, when you hit your 30s, niggas basically start making fun of you. How old are you? You 30?
damn.
No bull. That's just how it is. Like, bro, you old. Like, why you still doing this? Like, aren't you like tired of it? Because you've been doing it for so many years. You've been jumping off the porch since you were 13. You 45. What?
People have asked this question with Drake, but we really don't have a definitive answer. Because when you look at some of the contemporaries of Drake, or people that have been around just as long as Drake, if you look at a guy like Kendrick, you have somebody like Baby Keem, who clearly Kendrick has, kind of taken, put under his wing. I mean, of course it's his cousin, but we've seen Baby Keem really start to mature, and Kendrick really trying to put him on. Like, we've seen that. When you look at somebody like J. Cole, he has JID, and you see he's signed to the label, or JID, however you want to say it. He's signed to the label. J. Cole's trying to put him on. He's, JID's doing crazy stuff right now. He's going crazy with all his music. You can see that there's some sort of mentorship program type thing going on there with J. Cole and JID and Kendrick.
And this is the thing. They was trying to make Jack Harlow like the next Drake or whatever. Any young man that he's been around, it's Jack Harlow, and they look good together, but in reality, it's not gonna work. I'm not saying like Jack Harlow like trash or anything. I really don't listen to him. So me personally, I can't have a say. what's
poppin'?
poppin'?
Who you a
Brand
Brandon
new
friend
whip,
with?
Williams
just
hopping.
hopped in.
I
I got
got
options.
I be jamming. I be jamming. The toe tapper. I wish I could see my toe. He cool. And shit, you feel me? But it's just not gonna work.
We have Kanye, but after Kanye, there's going to be Travis Scott. Obviously, he's not Kanye, but someone similar to him in the same veins. And we kind of have that for these bigger rappers. But with Drake, we don't really have anybody. You know, people like to bring up a whole bunch of stuff. People were saying Tory Lanez at a point. People were saying maybe Lil Baby, but I don't really think that comparison really works out. People have even said Jack Harlow. And whenever I say that, people act like nobody was saying this. People were saying this like a year ago. Like people
A lot of people would say Jack Harlow, and I was just like, you niggas are crazy. No, like, I love Jack Harlow, but like, no, be so fucking for real with yourself right now. Like, nigga, what?
we all end up being wrong. Maybe JID doesn't end up being the next Cole. Maybe Keem doesn't end up being the next Kendrick. But even if we're wrong, there's no person that we can point to and be like, that's the guy that's under Drake's wing, that Drake's really going to try and put on, that Drake's really going to boost up, the guy that's really going to take his place. Like, that doesn't really exist for Drake. And that's because Drake is the next Drake. Now, Drake is pretty old for a rapper standard, at least. He's 36 years old. That's like almost pushing 40. That is ancient in rap. But I don't think Drake is done being the top guy, being the guy with all the spotlight, being the guy who's really at the forefront of rap. I don't think he's
Drake is not done being Drake. He's still touring. Niggas still making music. Niggas still go to the clubs. Personally, if I was Drake, I wouldn't be either. Life is just great. You feel me? Because he's Drake. No bill.
number one all the time. But I don't get that sense from Drake. Drake is the complete opposite of that. Drake is still pushing very hard. Drake is still dropping every year. Drake is putting his foot on people's neck. Drake is still intertwined with modern day pop culture and all these new things on the internet, all these new trends. Like, Drake is very much in the now, and he's very active in the now. He's not really taking a step back. Of course, I'm sure if you ask Kendrick or if you ask Cole, if you ask Kanye, who's the best rapper alive right now, they'd probably say themselves. Who makes the best rap music? They'd probably say themselves, and they still have that level of like competitiveness, but they're not all the way active in the now like Drake is.
Like, he's so in everything now. Or a couple years ago, he was not like that. He's just now stepping into different rooms that people won't even think about. Think about Drake as a brand. That's like a cool 2 billion. I'm finna pocket watch. That's not his net worth. That is too low. $250 million. That gotta be more. It's like, I feel like he would make like way more money than that. Cause like 250 mil is a lot, but like I feel like he makes like at least 500 mil a year.
Don't think Drake is ready to pass the torch. That's why we haven't really gotten like a definitive answer of somebody who is the next Drake. Sure, Drake has helped out guys along the way. He works with 21 Savage. He works with Lil Baby all the time. He works with Jack Harlow. But there's no one who Drake is really like, let me put some resources into this guy. There is no underling. There is no student. There is no like guy that Drake is really just putting himself into, because I don't think Drake's ready to be done. Now, I do say this though. I do predict this. I think Drake's going to retire in like maybe a year, maybe like 6 months or something. Like, I think he's going to retire relatively soon. But when I say retire, I mean retire. I think he's going to do like the Michael Jordan thing, retire maybe for
Think about it. I don't see Drake stopping. Probably like in his late 40s. Late 40s. If he was going to show signs of slowing down, it would be right now. He haven't, so I mean, hey.
But you don't get that feeling from Drake. It feels like Drake is still really hungry. Like, honestly, Drake is probably hungrier than 90% of rappers nowadays. I don't really know why. I don't know what Drake is really still trying to accomplish, because he's done everything. But I'm telling you guys, there is no next Drake, because Drake is the next Drake. In 5 years, Drake is going to evolve a little bit. He's not going to change everything. He's not going to sound like a whole new rapper, but he's going to keep evolving with the times. Drake is still going to be keeping up with all the trending stuff. He's going to be changing up. And I think he could be here for another decade as the #1 rapper. I just don't think Drake is ready for that moment where he can step back and not be the biggest star in rap. I don't think that's...
Nah, he actually eating. Nah, he's eating. Not see this man Drake stopping. This man is gonna keep evolving. This man is a machine. Somebody need to research into him. If one thing about 2 things for sure, Drake gonna hop on the trend. This man constantly have his foot on the gas pedal. Hey, nigga, you're at the top. What more top? Is no more top. Like, you can't reach to another level. There's no more levels. You complete them all. The game done. It's over with. Like, Drake, we get it. You top dog.
Like sports, and you look at like basketball, football, or whatever. When an old guy's not really ready to retire, they're not really willing to pass the torch, and they're not really willing to retire on their own, the sport will retire them for them. Like, if you look at, somebody like, I don't know, like Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce at the end of his career, like, he got retired by the sport. He didn't just get to retire. Or even if you look at like the UFC, which is even worse because they're actually fighting. The old, if they're not ready to go on and ride off into the sunset, they get brutalized by the young generation. So maybe Drake's not going to pass the torch. Maybe somebody's going to come and take it from Drake. But honestly, that's pretty hard to see as well. I don't really know anybody that's going to be able to just kind of take the #1 spot from Drake.
Niggas don't want the smoke. Drake is kind of like, he's kind of stingy. He's not gonna willingly let you take it. He's gonna be like, oh, you trying to take that bit? Bet that. Let's face it, that's a monster. That's a machine. Drake is a brand. Not just going against that one man. You're going against the people he worked for, industry, the other industries he tapped into, his fans. Nigga, that's a cult. You have to come with the fire. If you don't, bro, you're just gonna get blown down every single time. Drake is literally the boss level on the hardest video game you can ever think about. It's so many young niggas out here. None of them want to try though. Niggas be like, oh, I got my foot on their neck. Da, 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 da. You got your foot on that nigga neck. Go fuck with Drake.
There is no next Drake because Drake is the next Drake, and he's probably going to keep this thing going for at least another 5 years. At least another 5 years at the top. I'm not saying he has to quit music in 5 to 10 years, but he's going to be at the top #1 guy for at least another 5 years, in my opinion. Maybe even 10. Who knows? I don't know. I just feel like Drake's not the type of guy to retire on his own, to really back out of the spotlight on his own. Somebody's going to have to take it from him. And I don't know who that's going to be because I don't see any real candidates at the moment who can really take it from Drake. But somebody's going to have to take it from him because I don't think he's really willing to give up that torch.
These niggas scared. They scared. They are scared to take it. Scared. Nobody even tried. Or did you hear such and such? He dissed Drake. Word? I haven't heard that since Meek Mill. These niggas is scared to get Meek Mill. Me personally, if I was a rapper and I was in the game, bruh, I said I want to be #1. I want to be top dog. I would go for whoever top dog. Knock them niggas down. That's how it's supposed to be. It's a dog eat dog world. It's competition. Like for me, I'm fighting for y'all to build my community, get my own little followers up. To be watching other niggas who make the same content as I do. But I'm hungry. I'm on these niggas' necks. Like, I'm trying to make great content for you. I'm going to like keep producing content. W video from Justice. Hey man, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this type of content, man, give me a thumbs up. Help me so much with the algorithm. Comment down below in the comments who you think can really like actually take go neck to neck with Drake. Right now, currently, I don't think it's nobody. Have some suggestions, just have some thoughts, you feel me? Also, hit that big red subscribe button and click that notification bell. If you do that, you get a free ticket to the Drake show. Like, seats like front row. You get to see Drake walk up to the stage. All that, like yeah, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button with that bell notification. Make sure you follow me on my other social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and I do also be streaming on Twitch. Me and my friends and our little Discord, we be kicking it, whatever. Make sure you go, all that is in the description box below. Make sure you tell everybody that you love them, because you never know when you're gonna lose them, and that's facts. And I catch you in my next video. Why are you still here?